What is going on YouTube? It's Sank and we are back with another one. And this drop coming at you guys with a couple of plays to pick up next week in the markets. But before I kick things off, I'd like to help out the channel by hitting that like button because it keeps the show rolling. Alright guys, so the weekend has landed and you know I never take my eye off the ball when it comes to these markets because I'm always trying to get you guys one step ahead of the game. And it all starts by putting plays into focus before we hear that Monday morning opening bell. Now you guys know we had a great week this week just gone in the markets, a lot of the plays on the move. That's why your portfolios are starting to find their rhythm again. But hey, before we kick things off, what I want to say to you guys is some of the prices we're seeing for growth plays right now are some of the best prices we've seen over the last 3 months. A lot of these plays are well off their support. A lot of these plays are even in breakout mode right now. This is because market health has increased. We're seeing the market lose that fixation to bond yields, to inflation. We're seeing other asset classes down at the moment. That is reinvigorating interest back into the stock market. That being said, over the next couple of weeks, I want you guys to be mindful of any potential pullbacks we might see in the growth market. Okay, so how we're going to handle business going into next week is just to ease into the plays. We're still going to keep active in the plays because ultimately we can't time the market. So that is key. Keep the activity high, but we're easing into the plays. So if we do hit a pullback in the markets, whether it's over the next couple of weeks, you guys know because we've been easing into these plays, we have dry powder on deck ready to deploy into the markets if these plays catch a dip. So as I say, that's how we're going to handle business. That being said, I've got a couple of plays I'm going to put on your radar as we head into next week. So let's run the first one. So we're going to kick things off here. That's ticker symbol GRWG. That's Grow Generation. Now most of you guys should be up already on the numbers on this play, given we're picking this one up while they're in the 30s just a couple of weeks back. But I'll let you guys know this is a play far from its final form. There's a lot more to come. So that's why they're buy right now where they're at in the low 40s. Now if we check out the charts at $42 right now, this is a price tag that we haven't seen before the corrective move since the end of January. That's why it's important that you guys continue to accumulate your position where they're at right now. Now, we'd love to grab this one in the 30s, but the market's going to continue to show resilience and strength. And we know Grow Generation is going to continue to post up solid quarters moving through the year. This is a play that could be getting ready to make their next shift upwards. So I wouldn't chance it. I'd get into the play where they're at now, continue to build your position. If this one does pull back, then we'll just load up on what is going to be a quality growth play as we move through the year, not just this year, into 2022 as well. Now, just like we're seeing with one of our other plays, that's ticker symbol LOVE, on course to smash through $100. Grow Generation, give them 9-12 months time, we'll be saying the exact same thing about the play. So this is a play with big upside. That's what I'm locked and loaded with 140 shares in this one, and I'm continuing to build. Now I remember speaking to you guys about this play at the back end of 2020, and they just clocked in 200 million in revenue. Fast forward a couple of months time, they're looking to do 450 million in revenues at the end of this year. So you can see this is a play that's building serious momentum. That's over 100% growth, by the way. Now, I would say to you guys, with your investment pieces, you've got to be mindful of their path to profitability. So it's okay to pick up a play that makes negative net income, but you want to see how this play is going to progress to making that a positive number. They're going to make that transition. Grow Generation is starting that transition from negative net income to positive net income, and they're going to continue that momentum right for the year. Now, all this combined makes this what I call a powerhouse of a play. Now, I always get you guys all the time saying to me, when I've mentioned the play to you and it's made this move upwards, that you wish you loaded up on the play, you wish you got in at a certain price point when it was on the low. So I'm going to make sure that you guys don't say that on this play, because at $42, when this play moves to 50, this is going to look very cheap. When this moves to 60, it's going to look even more cheap. When it moves into 70, you guys would have wished you picked it up where it's at now. The next one I've got for that's Tesla. Now this play is hovering around that buy zone. You guys know I like this play under $600. So it's one for you guys to have on your watch list as we move into next week. As I told you guys, the support on this one comes in at that 560, 570 range. And since I've been saying to you guys to accumulate your position in this one since they've been on the low, we've seen 2 bounces off that line. So this is a good sign. Now the reason why Tesla isn't moving upwards like the rest of the industry plays, like a NIO for example, is because right now Tesla's still wrapped up in the fact they had slower China delivery month-on-month numbers. But you guys gotta know there's a lot of variables that play into that short-term event. And if we just zoom out, what we have here is a play with a strong brand, high technology, They're also in a growing industry, and this play is on an aggressive growth path as well. So you can count on Tesla. Just know that this is one for my investors. The way to hit success, the way you move with this play, is just to ride through the short-term volatility and continue to accumulate on the low, because this is just another play we'll be celebrating success on. Now, talking of EV plays, I want to touch on this one, ticker symbol LI, that's Li Auto. Now, in the short term, this play can very well hit that $31, $32 mark. So I'm just giving you guys the heads up on the play, because right now, this play is in catch-up mode to its peers, like a Tesla, like an XPeng, when it comes to valuation, because this play is valued cheaper than those plays. That's why you're starting to see this play make its move. Now, this is a play not to be underappreciated, because by September, this is a play looking to do 10,000 deliveries per month. Given they're doing around 5,000 now, you guys know that's going to be big moves in that stock price to come. So if they're able to hit that 10,000 mark by September, you could very well be looking at a play that's in the $40 to $45 region. So picking them up where they're at right now at $28 is looking like an attractive entry point. Now, in the short term, we could very well see volatility. This play could very well come down to the $25 mark. So I want you guys to be mindful of that. But if it does come down from these levels, you guys know it's just an even more attractive play with even bigger upside potential. So if you guys do catch this one in a pullback, load up on this play, because when this one does move up, as I said, that's big gains to be made. This is a play, as I said to you guys before, I've been saying to you guys over the last couple of months, it's not to be underappreciated, because there are going to be some big winners in the Chinese EV evolution. The next play I've got for you, that's ticker symbol GMBL, that's Esports Entertainment, standing $12. Now we check out the charts on the week. This one was relatively flat on the week, given it's a growth play, it's up about 2%. But I just want you guys to look at that intra-week movement. At the low, this play was around $12. At the high, the play was about $14. So, as I say to you guys, this is a play that can move when it's ready to do so. This is going to be one of your more speculative plays with double up potential or more if you just give them 9-12 months time. So that's why I'm building my position in this play, because there's a lot of untapped potential here. It remains one of the market's underappreciated, overlooked plays, and you guys know those are gems of plays, similar to how a BCRX was and we saw that double up, similar to how we saw a higher car was and we saw that double up for us. This is also a play with double up potential, so I'm just giving you guys the heads up. Now, you guys got to be mindful that this is going to be one of your more volatile plays as well. So check this. If a play like an Apple, for example, moves 10% in a day, that is a cause for concern. But I want you guys to know, if Esports Entertainment moves down 10% in a day, that's not a cause for concern, because this play could very easily move up 10, 15, 20% in a single trading session. So just be mindful of the volatility here and use it to your advantage by catching this one on the cheap. As I say, I'm happy for you guys to go into this play at the 12s where they're at right now. Ideally, we want them lower than that. We want them in the 11s. If we can catch them at the 10s, that's even better. Now, hopefully we see these kind of levels, but if we don't, at least we're getting it at this level to get a piece of the action before this play really does take off. So it's just another play I want to put on your radar ahead of next week's opening bell in the stock market. So if you've been rocking with the channel, you know what time it is. Question comes from Ivo, says, great video for preparing us for next week. Thanks, Sank. I have a question regarding the buy the rumor, sell the news thing. I understand the reason why people are buying the rumor, but I don't understand the psychology behind selling the news. Why is that? Why many people are selling right after good things happen? Why pumping stock pre-earnings and selling after very good earnings? Why pumping pre-NASDAQ listing and selling after the company begins trading on NASDAQ? Now, the reason why you see these types of buy the rumor, sell the news is because ultimately within the stock market exists two types of people. The first is us investors, the second is the traders. Now, we are aligned differently, we have different goals and purposes of being into the stock market. Now, these traders are in there to make short-term returns or shorter-term returns, but massive returns at a much higher risk level. So ultimately, pre-earnings, you spoke about that, they're going to put in massive trades before pre-earnings on some types of plays to try and drive that momentum. Because what happens is in the stock market, you get what we call herd-like behavior. So once a stock price starts to run up pre-earnings, because of these traders and these massive trades going in, you're going to get other classes of investors, whether that's other traders, other retail investors, all pushing that stock price up. So you get that momentum. Now, given that they bought in at a level, call it $50, and then just before earnings, for example, it's now $60 or wherever it might land. Ultimately, for them, it's a good idea for them to net out those returns. Now, them traders, they'll make smaller returns on a percentage basis than us investors, because we're investing into these space over time. We'll make much more than 10% return on the 5% they're going to make. Now, they put down a big dollar amount, so they're still making a big amount of money off these trades. But that's what's causing the volatility in these prices that buy the rumor, sell the news, because ultimately there's two types of people that exist in the stock market. Ultimately, for us investors, we can still take advantage of that, because when that stock price comes down after the sell the news part of the movement, we can take full advantage of that, as long as that is a quality play with a lot more room to run. So take a high tide, for example, just told you, that's a classic case of buy the rumor, sell the news. Pre-NASDAQ announcement, we saw that run up to $9, then we saw that retrace back down to the $8 mark. We can just get in. It gives us an opportunity to load up our position at a cheaper price point before it ultimately inevitably reaches back to that $9 mark and more. Alright guys, so that wraps up for this one. If you've got any questions for me, leave them down below and I get back to you. When I say I appreciate you guys, on your way out, do light up that comment section for me. If you're new, join the movement, and I catch you in the next one.